Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Second Cup of Coffee. Pastor Tom with you. We're on week 3 of our series, Carrying the King. The first week we talked about the colt that he rode into Jerusalem on. The next week we talked about Simon, who carried the cross for Jesus, and really about what are we representing to people, not by what we say, but what we're willing to carry. This week, we're going to talk about a man. It's still in Mark 15. It's the end of the chapter, verse 42. It says, this is after Jesus has died on the cross. And it's a kind of an intricate time because it's preparation day for the Sabbath, and they only have a certain amount of time where they can bury Jesus. And so Joseph of Arimathea, it says in verse 43, Joseph of Arimathea, a prominent council member who was himself waiting for the kingdom of God to come, he came and, taking courage, went into Pilate and asked for Jesus' body. Pilate was a little confused, didn't realize that he had died that quickly, got some verification, and he granted the body to Joseph. Going down to verse 46, it says, "Then he brought fine linen, took him down, and wrapped him in the linen, and laid him in a tomb." Why would a prominent council member who is part of a council that was intricate in the crucifixion of Jesus Christ be taking him off the cross and carrying the king? Jesus had nothing he could offer him. Actually, Joseph of Arimathea came with everything. It was his tomb that he was giving to Jesus. I don't think he realized it was to borrow, but Jesus was going to borrow it for just till Sunday morning, early morning, when he rose up out of the grave. Isn't that why we celebrate Easter? And that's the hope that we have as Christians, that he's not a dead king. He's a live king sitting at the right hand of his Father making intercession for us. But when you have just witnessed a crucifixion, you don't know any of that. But Jesus needed to get from one place to the other, and so I think he put a burden on somebody's heart who was himself waiting for the kingdom of God. In your waiting for the kingdom of God, are you still serving a Jesus who may not appear to you to be doing what you'd like him to do, or even be active in your life, your desire, or your night season? They had just gone through an earthquake. They had just gone through the sun not shining. They had gone through the temple, the drape being rent from the top to the bottom. And maybe he wasn't aware of all that. I imagine he was aware of all of it, but maybe he didn't know about the curtain being torn or rent. But there's a lot of stuff going on. Sound familiar? It might sound very familiar to your life. A lot of stuff going on. But he recognized the time. And I think despite his ability to act on Joseph's behalf, Joseph acted on behalf of God, and he carried Jesus' body to his tomb, laid it in there, and put a rock in front of it. We just celebrated Easter. My question for you is have you in any way prepared yourself to walk out the fullness of who you're supposed to be, even if he's not walking out the fullness of who you hoped he would be? We find that because he had an expectation of the kingdom of God coming. Don't lose your expectation of the kingdom of God coming, because when he laid him in that tomb, he didn't know when he went back to that tomb, the stone would be rolled away. And when you rolled the stone there, you know how hard it was to get it there. So to have it moved out of that place, you would understand the effort that it took to get it out of the place so that Jesus could come into his fullness. And I have to tell you prophetically that some of you are being challenged right now in this night season, and God is saying, will you serve me even though I don't make sense to you? And will you make a place for me even though it doesn't make sense? And will you trust me that what you think is a limitation is easily moved by my Spirit when it's time to act? When it's time to act, when it's time, the kingdom of God will be revealed. So come, take courage. Come, take courage. Serve Jesus, even when it doesn't make sense, and watch him show up on your behalf. Carry the kingdom, carry the king to where he's asking you to go, and watch him show up. We love you. Hope this series has been a blessing to you so far. Look forward to next week when we wrap it all up. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever it is you find us, or download our app, please do that so you have the ability to share these things with other people who might be encouraged as well. We love you. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.